Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new live episode of the Hot Mic here on the Outlaw Nation. And Jeff, I think the hot mic has never been hotter than it is right now with everything that is happening in the world of entertainment. Yes,
especially. I got on for this one.
No, keep the shit. Jesus Christ, I don't want to get in trouble here. Yeah, we're going to jump into so many things that are happening.
We can't get in trouble. There's no corporate overlords here,
That's
bro.
True. That's true. If you want to take your shirt off, knock yourself out, I guess. True. But yeah, we're going to talk about all the stuff that's going on with Warner Brothers mostly. Maybe we'll chop into some other show stories as well. But we are focusing on that Warner Brothers situation with Batgirl, with the earnings call that happened today, all the news that dropped that happened in the world of entertainment today. I am one of your hosts. I'm the Outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by that gentleman right there, entertainment's own Jeff Sneider. Jeff, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. But let's just dive in.
Yeah, all right.
Enough with these pleasantries.
Yeah, I apologize. For those of you who are watching right now, make sure you hit a like on this video and send us Streamlabs and SuperChats. I'm sure you got questions about everything that's going on. And he's not called the Insider because he doesn't have insider information. He does. So send in your questions, thoughts, and comments through Streamlabs and SuperChats so we can answer them here on the show. All right, Jeff, let's start off with this Q2 earnings call that Warner Brothers had today. Warner Brothers Discovery, shall I say, had today. A lot of announcements here. HBOMax and Discovery Plus are going to merge in 2023. Already some of the content is going to be transferred over, but still remain on its home service, but transfer over to other to either HBO Max or Discovery Plus, or Discovery Plus to HBO Max. It's going to go both ways depending on the product and depending on what's being released there. Also, we heard about the fact that the Flash movie is a go. In fact, it's going forward. David Zaslav said he has seen both Flash, Shazam 2, and Black Adam and thinks they're great. It's going to make them better. Defended canceling Batgirl. And then we found out that the amount of subscribers have increased for HBO Max, if not the profit has gone down. So you talked to me about all of the news coming out of here from the Q2 earnings call. What do you want to start with first?
Well, forget earnings calls. Let's just talk about Batgirl.
Let's start with Batgirl. Let's do it.
John, you're the head of Warner Brothers Discovery.
Okay.
You've sunk $90 million.
Yeah.
Your job as the head of a studio is to make that money back.
Yes.
You have this unique opportunity because of the merger where you can identify assets that you don't necessarily want and take a tax write-off on them.
Right. And I've got the board support to do so.
What do you do?
It's an interesting question. It's an interesting question because obviously me, John Rocha, I was upset to read the news, but as you hear the points of views, hear the logic behind this thing, that they want to just focus on theatrical films. I mean, this is so similar to sports, right? If I'm getting hired as the GM, but I've got to keep this player and keep this coach and keep this philosophy, I want to be able to create my own approach to this thing and make it work. So coming in, I'm looking at the financials, and yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a hit for sure, but it's on a film that was going to be streaming, not a theatrical release. And yes, we're going to ruffle some feathers in the Latino community because of what we're doing here with Leslie Grace, but we're going to recoup 15 to 20 million according to Deadline. I'm not going to spend millions upon millions upon millions promoting the film, advertising the film, putting it in theaters. And maybe it's a good film or a decent film and make some money. Lord knows Venom made $1 billion and it was horrible, or $875 million. It was horrible. So there's a possibility that I could come out ahead. But if I'm not going to use Leslie Grace as Batgirl, if I'm not going to pursue this approach and I'm going to want to recast or take a new approach to this, where Batgirl isn't even in my mind, then I make this decision. I take the PR hit, but I also cover it by saying, hey, we're going in a new direction. Trust us. We've got a 10-year plan. We're gonna find a Feige to put in place here, and we're gonna make this happen. John Rocha hates the decision. John Rocha, head of Warner Brothers, might be okay with the decision
That's the
if
thing.
I succeed.
And that's really the thing on Twitter is that people cannot take their own fandoms and what they would like to see out of the equation. I get that this is a bad look from a representation standpoint.
Yep.
Female superhero. You have a
Latina superhero. Yep.
Yeah. I was getting there. Don't worry.
Sorry.
But it's just like if you're the new guy and you're trying to recreate Warner Brothers in your image, so to speak, and this is a movie that you don't believe in, why are you releasing it? Like don't we want guys who come in and ask, why are we releasing garbage? Now I'm not saying that Batgirl is garbage, right? I haven't seen it, and I know we've all read about the testing, and it tested in the 60s, but so did it, and it made $1 zillion. It was not a good movie.
Yeah.
Hate to say it. Okay. Oof. So maybe it made $1 billion, but this is not going to make that much money because, first of all, it's not even a theatrical release.
Right.
So, to put it on streaming and just throw it out there, I think it does. If it's not a good movie, then it damages the DC brand. If it's not a good movie, it's a bad movie, right?
Right.
So to me, it's just like I agree with Zaslav, even though this doesn't make him popular. Yeah, and the way that he communicated the decision wasn't great, and it's the director's wet. It's like they're under a ticking clock, right? Because they have to make this decision by mid-August or whatever. So why chase good or bad money with more bad money?
Yeah, and look, I think there is logic to what you're saying, but I also think the way they handled this was colossally a fuck up because you don't stain the two directors, stain the movie, stain the actress in a way by guilt by association here by saying, oh, it was a terrible movie. We didn't want to, it was unwatchable, irredeemable, all this nonsense, especially from a studio that brought in Joss Whedon to redo the Justice League here. It's ridiculous to me to say that. Why do you have to stain the creatives on your way of saying, like, they should have said, look, we're not going to release the film.
Stain the creatives. How did they stain the creatives?
Because they said the film was irredeemable. So that connects. They did say that.
That's a quoted source. What do you mean?
Saying it was irredeemable. Yes, I'm sorry. Quoted source saying it's irredeemable. Yes, absolutely. But I mean, you think the source is not from WB? You think they're not getting that source from people on the inside of WB? You don't think they would have trusted a source from inside the WB to do that? Because everyone now is hearing that word and thinking of that word. And David Zaslav did not come out and say, this is a damn good movie. We had to shelve it, though, because we've got another approach. Nowhere in the earnings call did he say this is a damn good movie. No, we fucked up.
Because it's probably not, because it's probably irredeemable.
So then it is. So once again, I'm saying, great if you want to alternate your turn or take a turn, but don't come out here and bash the directors in essence, bash the actors by association, bash Christina Hodges.
But they didn't do any of that, John. They've said they've been very nice to the directors and Leslie. They put out the statements and everything. I get actions speak louder than words. And the action is we're throwing your movie in the trash.
Right.
Or, but listen, it's bad to me. It really hurts Warner Brothers even further from a talent perspective.
Yes.
This is a studio that has to combat that image after everything that Jason Kyler did.
Right.
With Popcorn. But if you put out Batgirl, right, and it sucks, do you think that people blame Jason Kyler? No, they blame the current leadership, even though he had nothing to do with it. So if you're him, why would you want to take that risk? You'll take the criticism when it's your calls.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I just think, Zaslav, on one hand, I tweeted and the tweet took off.
Yeah.
Why do you put a TV executive in charge of a movie studio? Right. Because it's not just a movie studio, right? Everything has to be a movie and a TV studio now, I guess, except for Sony, really. Although Sony has a TV side, but Tom Rothman's not in charge of, making the calls on that stuff. Zaslav is making the calls for all this stuff. And I kind of admire how ruthless he is, even though I think you're absolutely right that he didn't go about it maybe the best way. But you look at that list, like on Reddit, of all those shows that are going away.
Yeah.
If you're the head of a studio or whatever, what are you fighting for? Those are all good calls. Get rid of it. I'm sorry that it's representation and everything, but fucking get rid of it.
But see, you're saying that as a white man. That's really easy for you to say that. It's really easy because you've got a plethora of fucking movies, TV shows in multiple genres to exist in. But something like the Gordita Chronicles, Why isn't that given like a second season to see what he can do, to see how he can flourish, even catch an audience?
Well, the first season, obviously. I don't understand though.
I don't know if it did well the first season.
Money to see what it can do. I mean, you either nowadays you either do it or you didn't do it, and it's over. Like,
right.
It's a meritocracy here. It says I understand the optics as far as the racial components and stuff, but I really don't think that if Batgirl was the exact same quality. And it had, let's just say, because the name popped in my head, forget all the controversies with her. Ruby Rose. Yeah. It starred some white woman. She's white, right?
Yeah, Ruby is. We're
gonna say, oh no, we can't throw this movie in the trash. She's white. What? Then get rid of it anyways. So I don't think it's a racially motivated decision at all.
Yeah, but you've got to understand the look and come on, don't be ridiculous. In the real world, there are ramifications for making decisions like this that affect talent, affect creatives wanting to work with you. As you mentioned, the Jason Kyler situation.
100%.
Yes. But if you start canceling Sasha Calle's Supergirl, you start canceling the Blue Beetle movie, if that happens, if they cancel both of those projects, along with the Batgirl project, and then you're telling me Ezra Miller, who's throwing a white person throwing chairs at a woman, choking out a woman.
Nobody gives a shit
to go forward with that. It's a bad look.
It does bad looks. Who cares about bad looks? This is money. It's about money, not looks.
But it's not always about money, because the looks of it affect whether people want to be associated with your brand or not. Look is so important in 2022.
But then they will suffer those consequences down the line, John. This is what I want to see.
Yeah.
If the Latino community is really so up in arms,
yeah,
won't watch another Warner Brothers thing. Don't go see Batman 2. Don't go.
You're not wrong.
Look, because when those numbers come in, John,
they
say, well, what were the exit polls? We had 80% white people, 15% black people, 2% Asians. Well, where were the Latinos? The Latinos didn't show up. Why didn't they show up? Well, because we threw Batgirl in the trash. Okay. So until the Latino community do that, they're going to keep throwing shit in the trash, because you keep coming to Batman 2 and Joker 2.
You're not wrong. But we are 30 to 40% of the repeat business every month at theaters. The Latino community is 30 to 40% of repeat business. But you're absolutely right. The way we vote, the way we make studios listen to us, is to not patronize some of their projects and then make a big deal out of not patronizing it and show that it affects. That would be beyond review bombing. We are financially bombing a film because we're not coming out to see it. And yes, for those of you who are in the chat, look it up. There are numerous surveys that show that Latino communities, 30 to 40% of the repeat business every month in theaters. There's a reason for that. Latinos love to go to the theater, love to go in mass with families to go to see the movies over and over again. They enjoy that. I did that. My dad took me, my mom took me. All my life growing up, they took me to the theaters multiple times.
No one's arguing. That's how it works. It's a huge audience. It's a huge audience, and you have to respect it. And I think that Warner Brothers is aware of it. Because look at something like The Nun, right? That's a Warner Brothers title that's written by Latino audiences.
Yep.
They're not ignorant of this. No. But you don't just make a movie for to placate a single audience, okay? A Batgirl is for all audiences, and if the movie isn't good, or if you don't think that you're going to use Leslie Grace going forward, and it could muddy the waters, then why are you putting it out? Because of contractual obligations? I don't want to see movies coming out because of contractual obligations.
I don't disagree. Look, again, I don't disagree with you. Absolutely, if you didn't like the movie, you don't think it's going to do well, you're going to lose money on it, don't put it out. But put out a better statement. Put out a statement that refutes the irredeemable stuff. Because what does it fucking matter? No one's going to see it. So why don't you lie to save face? And don't tell me studios don't fucking lie to save face. Yeah. Why don't you lie to save face? Say the directors were incredible. Leslie Grace did a phenomenal job. In the end, we're just not going in that direction. We appreciate all the work. We appreciate the directors. This is a damn good film. And maybe someday, if we can work it out, we'll put it out for people to enjoy. But for right now, we have to kind of shelve it because we're going in a completely new, different direction. And we will see if we can, or say something like, and we'll have the negotiations with Leslie Grace about returning as Batgirl perhaps down the road. So that way you make it more of a more harmonious breakup than something like letting it leak that it's irredeemable.
They could string you along with, maybe we'll come back to her. Yeah, maybe we'll do it. But I actually appreciate that. They're just like, no.
Great. Then tomorrow I better fucking hear if Cavill is coming back or not. If you want to be so definite, then you better fucking talk now and be definite about everything. Don't just be definite about one thing. Be definite about everything. You don't get covered with that shit.
You don't have to open the playbook and reveal everything. No.
All right. Fair enough. Let's look at this list you were talking about. Raised by Wolves, no problem. Close Enough, I don't even know what that is. Gordita Chronicles, very sad it got dropped. Made for Love was a fucking good show, and I'm sad it got dropped. Chad, no surprise. I don't know if anybody's watching it. Why is Full Frontal with Samantha Bee being dropped? That was winning awards. Are the ratings down for that? I don't know. Naomi certainly was bad. Legends of Tomorrow, no surprise. Snowpiercer was always struggling every year. The Wonder Twins, no surprise with that. Scoob Holiday Haunt, I don't know that that's necessarily that big of a deal. And then, of course, Batgirl. They did not announce any other cancellations, Jeff, but do you anticipate that Blue Beetle, that the Supergirl movie, that these films are going to go away for now because they're course correcting and essentially turning a huge ship in mid-water into a new direction? Do you anticipate that'll happen?
Okay, hold on. I don't anticipate that with Blue Beetle, no. Okay. I think Blue Beetle, well, first of all, they upgraded it to theatrical, right?
Right. That's what they're doing. Yeah, theatrical.
And maybe it just came out good. I mean, Sasha Kaye, Supergirl?
Yeah.
Who is she? She could ring the doorbell right now and deliver me a pizza, and I'd have no idea who she is. So
but she's going to be in the Flash movie,
I just, to me, listen, the tax stuff was a misstep. You don't tell people this movie is a fucking tax write-off. Yeah. Because believe me, if like The Onion has like the recurring headline school shooting, anytime Warner Brothers dates a movie, I might do it on the new site eventually. It's just like, whether let's say it's Dune 2. Dune 2 dated for October unless it becomes a tax write-off.
Yeah.
That's how I would tweak it. What a stupid thing to admit to. I think you're right that they should have just said we're taking things in another direction, whatever. Yeah. The tax write-off really sticks in everyone's craw because then it reminds you, it reminds everyone, the audience, the filmmakers, that this is commerce and it's not art.
And you better believe. But Jeff, you better believe if this was Christopher Nolan's movie, no fucking way do they cancel it, let it come out that it's irredeemable or blah, blah, blah. They thought they could take the hit.
It wouldn't be irredeemable.
I don't know. Tenet was pretty irredeemable in my opinion, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. But okay, so all right, but I've got a source, a friend of mine, who made it clear to me. Let's talk about this merger now. Let's move off of Batgirl because we talked about it for 20 minutes.
We have to stay with Batgirl for one more second.
Okay, go ahead.
What if Matt Reeves wants to use this character? That is the big thing.
That's a possibility.
That in the fucking name, okay?
Yeah.
They're doing a successful Batman theatrical thing.
Sure.
We don't know what Matt Reeves' plans are. Maybe he has no plans for Batgirl, but what if he does? Mm-hmm. And he says, and David Zaslav says, Matt Reeves, love the Batman. What do you got for me from Batman 2? I know you're writing the script. What do you got? Where's it going? What's it set up for part 3? Well, I'm going to introduce Batgirl in the post-credit sequence in 2, and she's going to be a role in 3. And he says, okay, we'll get rid of the other one. Right. Because what is the point of having 2 this and 2 Batmans and 2 Jokers and 2 everythings?
Okay.
Like it needs cohesion. And so that's what this is about. Excising.
Yeah, but then they say that, but then they announce a release date for Joker 2 that has nothing to do with the main overall narrative. Are you telling me now that they're going to make Joaquin Phoenix the main Joker?
Sequel to Joker, John, because it doesn't that was already established.
But he said they're going to focus on creating a shared universe, just like Marvel. He said that on the earnings call. David Zaslav. We're going to create
that can be over 10 years. I just don't You're like holding people to this. Like this is $1 billion thing, and it's its own thing.
Yeah,
maybe it'll connect. We don't know,
right? All right.
Anyways, go on. What's the next thing?
Now let's get to some of these Streamlabs super chats. People are patiently waiting to have us answer these Streamlabs and super chats. Send them in as we're talking here, folks. Steven Cerner says, "Do you think WB will have trouble getting some top level talent to sign after canceling these movies and the previous falling out with Nolan?" Well, the falling out with Nolan was from the previous regime, and Zaslav has said very clearly that he is trying to repair relationships with any of the filmmakers that were hurt by what Kalar did by releasing day and date these movies last year. So what do you think, Jeff? Do you think this will have any effect on the top level talent?
Yes. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. They got Alan Horn in, right? He's going to be consulting for the studio. They bring him back. He's Nolan's guy to some extent.
Yeah.
I thought for a second, okay, Alan Horn's there now. Maybe they could bring Chris back into the fold. But if I'm Nolan and I see what just happened with them throwing these guys' movies in the trash, I think that's done.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's the only major filmmaker who they're doing that with, the thing I've been looking into is Clint
Eastwood.
What's up with Clint?
Why?
Why? Because he's had a 50-year relationship with Warner Brothers, but he doesn't bring in eyeballs.
No, he doesn't.
So
Prime Macho was terrible.
It's going to be very interesting to see what David does with that relationship, and if Clint ends up making movies somewhere else too. So I think that you're right. It is going to have not just this, but just Zaslav in general. It's not a good look. For the talent community.
You and I are sports fans. We know when players don't want to go play for a franchise because it's colossally mismanaged. It's constantly changing coaches, general managers, possibly even owners. And this is what Warner Brothers feels like right now. It feels like the Detroit Lions, the LA Clippers, and the worst part, the Wizards as they are right now. This feels like a franchise that is constantly saying, or the Browns even bringing in Deshaun Watson.
There for the money.
What's that?
Players still play for those franchises for the money.
Yeah, but you look what you got to do. You got to pay Deshaun Watson $240 million guaranteed just to get him to come play for your team. That's not good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. All right. Ronaldo McWhiskey says, if I could speculate for just a minute, so does this silence bode well for the Blue Beetle movie with a hero born and raised in El Paso, Texas? Represent. What do you think there, Jeff?
Does the fact that he's born in El Paso, Texas, mean he's not Latino, and so that's why he's getting released because he's American?
I think it's just kind of covering both bases.
Yeah,
but he's more saying that they didn't mention the Blue Beetle movie. So does that mean it's not on the chopping block?
Yes, I would say no news is good news if I'm a movie in post production.
That's fair.
And again, I think it would be really bad if they came in and just started getting rid of a whole bunch of finished movies starring people of color.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's if you're getting rid of a whole bunch of them. If it's just one, you can't point to it and say, "Oh,
of course not." Of course not. Right. When I'm bringing, some people misunderstood my point when I had that rant the other day. It was more about I'm seeing so much of this start to happen now, and it's frustrating. I'm not saying it's racism. I'm not blaming David Zaslav or blaming the heads of the other studios. I'm just saying we're seeing a lot of Latino-led projects getting canceled or getting shelved in ways that we haven't seen before, and it's frustrating. Now, if you kill Blue Beetle and the Supergirl movie, both led by Latino actors, and you throw that in the pile with Batgirl, and then as you said, he's going to use Batgirl, but it's a white woman. He's going to use Supergirl, but it's a white woman. He's going to use Blue Beetle, but it's going back to Ted Kord, who's a white dude, the original Blue Beetle. Then we start to have questions. Then we start to look at the situation, and you look at Zaslav's political leanings. You look at that Bloomberg article that broke down that his entire board is white, straight dudes. That's not a good look, son. That's not a good fucking look. And so
it's not a good look. Yeah. It's not a good look. But if you're bringing in executives who made you money and made Discovery successful, why would you not want to work with them again at Warner Brothers? I just don't.
Because you've got to diversify. What do you mean? There's not going to be an executive of color, a woman who could come in and do just as good as any of these white men. It's just ridiculous. Come on now. Empire Fan 1980 says, God, no, we are finally seeing the end of Riverdale. Please don't bring it back. LOL. All right, Riverdale. Wow, people hating on Riverdale. Ronaldo says, hot take, and I feel terrible even thinking it, but I think Flashpoint is going to kill in the box office and make $1 billion. Yeah, what do you think, Jeff?
I don't think that's a hot take at all. I think that's what Warner Brothers is very much counting on, and I think that from what I saw at CinemaCon, it will.
Yeah. There were questions about Michael Keaton that popped up as a result of this decision. Do you think Zaslav is course correcting here and not wanting to go down the path that Kilar and Sarnoff were going down with bringing the nostalgia back of Michael Keaton as Batman? Do you think he wants to, and there's rumors that there have been people speculating that he might bring back Ben Affleck as the main Batman and have Batfleck again, which of course will explode the Snyderverse people.
Where are you getting these rumors?
I'm just telling you, people are speculating about this online.
A day inside your head and seeing what you see on the internet and what you put faith in.
I'm not putting faith in it. I'm saying putting it out there as there's people speculating about that.
Look at this level 2 trading person. What is this track record Jeff is talking about? They made all their money off 90 Day Fiance. dude, why do you think David Zaslav got the fucking job? Because he was fucking successful.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I don't understand people. They just don't understand the business, just blatantly.
Fair enough.
As far as the Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck of it all,
yeah.
I think that you're right with like the timeline. The order of the movies got fucked up. It doesn't make any sense to have Michael Keaton now in Aquaman 2. I guess it still makes, because Momoa and Affleck are from the same timeline. I can barely
from the same universe
straight, by the way.
What's that?
They want to move on from all this Snyder stuff, believe me.
You do. Okay.
I love the 10-year plan of it all. Where it's just like, oh, don't worry, I got a 10-year plan, which means you can't do anything to me until after the 10 years is up. Exactly. Right? You can't get rid of me, and my plan's in motion.
This is trust the process all over again, like the 76ers. It's trust the process.
Warner Brothers corporate communications has just been a nightmare for like the last few years, and it's basically because they don't have the right people.
I don't know if I'm wrong or not, but I felt like somebody in the past at Warner Brothers took over and said, we have a 5-year plan to catch up to Marvel. Now you've got Zaslav coming in with a 10-year plan. So who knows?
Great. I'll be 48 by the time this plan is fucking over.
Stephen Turner says, David Zaslav, I believe, is a Republican. He has spoken well of Trump and Fox News. Have y'all even thought about his goal being getting control of CNN? This is an interesting point because in that Bloomberg breakdown, they talked about the fact that he is changing CNN to have more Republican people involved, less talking head stuff, and he's been focusing on not using the breaking news chyron on the screen, and that has affected the ratings for all the talking head shows. Don Lemon, I forget the balder guy, I forget his name, Tapper. It's affecting their ratings overall because he's making these changes. And he says he doesn't want CNN to be a Republican or a Democrat. He wants it to be a trusted source of information.
Yeah, is that not a novel idea?
It's not a novel idea, but he started out by saying it's a left-leaning network. Is it a left-leaning network? It's just telling you the truth most of the time. So,
yes, it is a left-leaning network. But I mean, again, not that I'm Republican at all, but why can we not have a major news organization that is fair and balanced?
I'm all about it. But if he's corrupting it from the inside out, there's concerns, there's questions. I'm just putting that out there. We shall see. We shall see.
I just, the TV news ratings is the last thing on my mind when I'm talking about Warner Brothers Discovery. I don't give a fuck about CNN or CNN Plus.
Fair enough. Suck says, what is really bad is that they're removing other movie/TV shows on HBOMax that people do watch from time to time. I'm saddened about Joe Pera. I don't even know Joe Pera. So,
if I was an executive, that is the one show on that Reddit list where I was like, I've heard of the Joe Pera. I don't watch it. I think it's weird. It's definitely not for me, but I recognize that it's for somebody, and I probably would have left that one on. Yeah. But again, most people watch it from time to time. Like, that's not what you can, like, guys, we've got this show and this show and this show, and people watch them from time to time. That's not what your programming strategy is. It's not a fucking hit. Get rid of it.
It's true. That's fair. I totally understand that. The other side of this is that there are certain shows here that do have a built-in audience, do have a strong audience. Now they have to go someplace else to be entertained by these shows. So they've been canceled. We don't know the numbers. Why can't they issue us the numbers to validate the decisions for why they're doing the things
they
do?
Don't need to validate it to you. It's like, why do we?
Then I get free. Then I'm free to speculate.
Things. I know. Yeah. You're just playing devil's advocate, and you're doing a great job hosting the show, by the way, John.
I hope that wasn't sarcasm.
On people's minds, but you're right. If Gordita Chronicles, is some huge hit, then some other streamer will pay for it.
Well, that's a fair point. Fair point. Unless they own it and they don't want to sell it to them, that's a possibility too. Because then they look with egg on their face that someone else went in and took off with one of their properties.
Warner Brothers. I think it was Keith Calder who maybe had some good, a good tweet thread about how this has happened to Warner Brothers before, right?
Yeah.
Slumdog Millionaire was a movie that we only know how to put out big movies at Warner Brothers. What do we do with this little $5, $7, $10 million movie? We don't know what to do. Give it a Searchlight. They'll know what to do with it. Yeah, they did. It made $300 million in one Best Picture. The same thing happened in the early 90s with a little movie called, what was it? Home Alone.
Yeah, Home Alone.
Studios, they do have a history of doing this stuff, and it does, come back to haunt them at times, and they don't want to have egg on their face, which is why they do just cancel things. They don't sell them. But it's like, if it's all about the money and he's just trying to get the debt down and all that stuff, Yeah, he'll sell the show if Netflix comes calling. Okay. And you know, they will if there's an audience for it, a big enough audience.
Fair enough. Let me put my tinfoil hat on for just 1 second. The director of the Blue Beetle movie, Angel Manuel Soto, his Charm City Kings directorial debut, which is the only other movie he's done, was taken off the HBO Max streaming service. Does that bode well for the Blue Beetle movie? Is that the first sign?
I don't think it matters. Those are two different pieces of business. I don't think it's like, oh, you know, Angel, you know, we don't believe in your first movie or whatever, or nobody's watching it, so we're going to throw away Blue Beetle. No, I don't think it works like that. They took it off the streaming service because nobody's watching it.
Maybe.
Well, why are you paying to license this movie if nobody's clicking on it?
But if you're about to if Blue Beetle is about to come out, you know, you want to build it up, but maybe they want to hold it off.
Build it up. How does Charm City Kings is going to build up Blue Beetle?
Fair enough. Cooley High says, hey, John, long time. What's up, Cooley? Good to see you, brother. I really, really want to see Batgirl now. Also, do you think Mortal Kombat 2 is going to still happen? God, I hope not. I guess Henry Cavill's Superman is done as well. Yeah, let's take those 3 sections real quick. One, this is kind of, in a way, deviously smart by, you know, taking the movie and shelving it. All of a sudden, when you remove something from people, they now want to see it. So I wonder if this is a way to maybe build up on the back end later a release of this film and make it a huge deal, get the numbers, make the money, blah, blah, blah. We shall see. Mortal Kombat 2, I did not like that first Mortal Kombat, so I hope there's not a second one coming. And the Cavill Superman is anyone's fucking guess all over again. So what do you think about any of these questions here?
I mean, when the news first hit, I was like, oh, they'll reverse this decision. The same way the Academy has reversed half the fucking decisions that it's made in the last month. Okay. True. Oh yeah, Warner Brothers will come, you know, they'll see the error of their ways. When the tax thing came out, then it made a little bit more sense that it's just like, we have a $90 million hole. How are we going to fill that $90 million hole? Mm-hmm. We can't put more and more money into it and then market another, you know, spend another 10 to 20 to make it a theatrical release, then market the theatrical release and then hope we're going to make that back. That's not an option, right? Putting it out on HBO Max, it's not going to bring in enough subscribers that help make up that 90 million. So the only way to do it is to literally wash your hands of it and take the write-off. You know, so I don't think that we will see Batgirl unless it leaks.
Fair enough. I need to address this comment here. This guy, Olegian, says, Rocha literally believes anything, LOL. Well, bitch, you're watching me. I'm not watching you. So, you know, that's your problem, son. And I don't believe everything. I'm presenting stuff that I've seen on social media. I've seen people say. So just for Jeff to counter, have his 2 cents on, that's called hosting a show. And if maybe you had more than 5 subscribers to your channel, you would understand what the fuck I'm doing. So all right, let's move on. I just like to punch down.
Doing a good job of setting them up so I can knock them down.
Exactly.
Wait, what was the last part of the other thing? Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh, yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 and Henry Cavill.
I think Mortal Kombat 2 happens.
You do? Okay.
I do. And what's the other one?
Henry Cavill, Superman done.
Henry Cavill's been done for a fucking while, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Fair enough. All right. Josh Mabry says, to quote a short-lived show, Better Off Ted, about a Fortune 500 company, money before people. That's the company motto engraved on the lobby floor. It just looks more heroic in Latin. So, yeah, I guess. Okay. I mean, you know, Perry and I used to fight about this on Movie Talk all the time. It is not show friends, show make me feel better, show hold my hand, show give me a hug. It's show business, and show business can be quite ruthless. The people involved in it can be, no matter how many puff pieces you read or PR pieces you read about actors, directors, producers, executives, owners, studio owners, they're pretty ruthless to get what they want to get and achieve what they want to achieve. So understand that. So, I mean, it's not his job to come in and stroke people's hair, but his job is to protect the creatives in a situation if it's going to look bad for the brand to be associated with sliming or vilifying these filmmakers and this actress and the production people. So
again, to me, it's like, if you're upset about this legitimately, guys, you pick up your fucking remote and you press cancel.
Yeah.
And then we'll see. That's how you send a message loud and clear.
Yeah.
You send it with your wallet.
Yeah.
Don't go on Twitter and bitch about it because they ain't reading and they don't fucking care.
It's true. Don't go see Flash. Like, have Flash underperform. That's a great way to send a message.
Right. That they ask. Yeah. Well, we looked at the polls, we looked at the numbers. Where's the Latino audience? They didn't show up. Yeah. Why didn't they show up? Because of what we did to them.
Yeah. Please don't waste my time. It's because it was marketed terribly. Fuck you. Daniel Haygood said, all this tumult is stressful. A good way to escape the stress might be to sign up for the Outlaw Nation Fantasy Football League. Details in the Discord. Yeah, for those of you who are playing, you can certainly sign up for the Outlaw Nation Fantasy Football League if you want, for sure. That's a fun
I want to sign up for that because I mean, I know how bad you are at fantasy football. So
how dare you? I won the first pie gout. Don't even come for me. Empire Fan 1980 says, I hope they don't get rid of Margot Robbie. She's the perfect Harley Quinn. I wonder when they finally get rid of Ezra Miller, will they get rid of Amber Heard next? Yeah, these are legitimate questions here, Jeff.
I think Ezra Miller's already been gotten rid of.
Yeah, you think so? You think he's not coming back after this movie?
Yeah, I think this is it for him.
Okay. Yeah. All right. What's your thoughts on Margot Robbie? If you've got a Lady Gaga and they're talking about synergy, did Adam Havlik tweeted about this? He listened in on the Q2 earnings call for Heroic Hollywood, and he said they kept mentioning synergy, everything connecting up, everything being in one lane, kind of like Kathleen Kennedy with Star Wars. Everything's in one lane in canon. So do we have multiple Harley Quinns?
Where else would Harley Quinn pop up? Like, what else do we need from her?
I mean, she's all over the Batman Joker stuff. She would pop up in Suicide Squad stuff. So she's already in 3 separate properties.
Yeah, but that shit's done. Like, is there another Suicide Squad movie in the works? No,
probably, possibly, because that one did well for what it was. Yeah, kind of a little bit underperformed, but not so much that was.
I haven't heard anything about that. I haven't even seen like a fake headline on something.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't know because James Gunn is focusing on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 right now.
There's no Suicide Squad 2 or 3, whatever number we want to fix to it. That's not in the works.
Right. No, but Peacemaker was a spinoff of that and did really well, got great reviews, great.
Okay, she's not popping up on Peacemaker.
No, but there were rumors that they were going to spell off Harley Quinn into her own series or to her own movie. Do you think that's a possibility here with Margot Robbie, or do you think it's dead now and they're just going to focus on Gaga?
I'm saying Margot already got her movie.
Oh, you're saying she doesn't need to have another movie as Harley Quinn?
No, like I feel like we've sort of seen Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. Now she's a huge star, and so if you can get her slot and she wants to reprise the character, yeah, okay, you do another Harley Quinn movie, but you don't do another Birds of Prey.
Okay. No, you don't do another Birds of Prey.
That was awful.
It was not that good. Yeah.
I don't know if you see her again as Harley Quinn. I just don't know, like, what would she pop up in?
Yeah.
Wonder Woman 3? No. A new Superman? No. Another
Batman.
The Batman 2?
Maybe.
No, that exists in its own thing.
But see, again, you're saying that, but he said he wants them to be in a shared universe using the Marvel model.
It's like you
can't have it both ways, Jeff.
This is the Batman over here.
Yeah.
This is the Joker over here. And then this is everything else. This is where he wants the synergy.
You think he's not going to have a Batman in that synergy?
No.
What?
No. Matt Reeves is doing his own thing.
Wow. So you think in this, everyone else, which includes Superman and Aquaman, where's Aquaman? Is Aquaman in the shared universe or Aquaman on his own as well?
That's tricky because Aquaman's a hit character for them who still has the ties to the Snyderverse. So does Gal Gadot. And I was talking to someone today who thinks that they should get rid of Gal Gadot. And I was like, no, I do not think that. I think she's good as Wonder Woman, even if the last Wonder Woman movie was terrible. But yeah, man, I don't think Matt Reeves wants to stick his Batman into whatever the fuck Warner Brothers is going to cook up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which I think is going to be tonally different too.
Maybe.
Joker,
I don't know.
Batman, everything else.
Mistress, my wife. That's what it sounds like to me. What about?
I mean, you're totally right because I do compartmentalize like that. But yeah, like when you can't hold him to every word that he says. Like it's
what do you mean you can't hold him to every word he says? For fuck's sake, what are you talking about? He is the head of a studio. Of course, you're supposed to hold him to every word he says.
He's talking about the future, right? And I just feel like Joker and Batman and Aquaman and Wonder, these things are like grandfathered in.
So you're saying for now
are the way they are.
Okay. So for now, he's going to try to make money on these projects because they've already made a lot of money for the studio in the past. And so he's going to be okay with that. But eventually he's going to slowly morph everything into one lane. Is that what you think?
Yes, because I mean, when you think about he said he wants to, copy Marvel, right? So he wants leading up to some big movie. You think Robert Pattinson's Batman is going to be a part of that? And Joaquin Phoenix's Joker? I don't.
I think Robert Pattinson's Batman has more of a chance to be a part of that than Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think that's.
I'll grant you that. Yeah.
That's more possible in my opinion.
But I just don't see it. I don't see if David Zaslav's a smart enough guy to know if this works. Why are we messing with it? Like, why am I trying to build something that doesn't need to be built because this is already successful? You know what I mean?
Well, we got 330 of you watching us right now, which I appreciate madly. Please make sure you hit a like on this video right now as I'm talking. Move that cursor over, hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment down below if you're watching later as well. I do my best with time codes on this, but I don't even know if I could put time codes up on this. But yeah, do that and start sending in people. I love the super chats, but YouTube takes 50% of the super chat. So please send in your Streamlabs instead. Send in some support.
Double your super chats, guys.
Yeah, no, keep sending them in. But I'd prefer it if you all sent in Streamlabs, and we have 330 people. So Jeff has given you some great inside information as an industry insider, as a person who analyzes the business. Show some support here with your Streamlabs. Start sending in some really good money here.
Dumb were some of the slides that we saw from the presentation today.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that a lot of people don't understand that. Every show, every movie, the data is like, this is the percentage of men who saw it. These are the percentage of women. And that's all the percentages they do. They don't start getting into, well, the trans people thought this and the non-binary people thought this. It's just male and female. So, I get
that's so short-term thing.
Genredums and fandoms versus, I mean, this shit is so stupid.
Yeah.
But that's how they all think about this shit all around town.
It's mind-blowing. So everything else is for interviews and for face saving or brand saving and promoting equality. But in reality, it's all about what's going to make us the most money. And we'll default to the easiest choice in order to do so. But you look at Marvel, and Marvel's not doing that. I think that's what the difference is here. Marvel is quite happy marching into representation, marching into trans stuff,
it works.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Warner Brothers could work if they didn't keep shifting.
Come out 6 months ago, right? If it had come out, if Batgirl had come out 6 months ago, and been a success, David Zaslav would have been on the fucking call today talking about a sequel.
It's true. It's very, very true.
It's just a matter of timing, and that's life.
Yeah,
it's not just Hollywood. That's life. Timing is everything. So unfortunately, this is a victim of the merger. Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of other victims of the fucking merger. Okay?
They're coming.
People who could actually cry for,
they said that today, Jeff. 70% possibly of HBO Max writers, creators.
Is that today, or is that part of the tweet that the stuff that's been going around?
Oh, I guess part. No. 70% is what I'm hearing in terms of that will be laid off from HBO Max. 70%.
But John, where did that come from?
I can't reveal that, but I know from my source. My friend who works on the inside of one of these studios, he told me that what he's hearing through memos and emails that he's gotten is that HBO Max is completely going away with scripted content. It is going away off the channel completely. That's and then they're going to merge to make HBO Max and HBO Max Discovery or HBO Discovery, whatever it's going to be fucking called. But that's what they're doing. That's their approach.
HBO Max is going to have the HBO scripted stuff.
The HBO is going to have the HBO scripted stuff. That's what's confusing here. Is they're saying
the HBO stuff lives on HBO Max,
right? I think they're going to split the HBO Max stuff into the HBO streaming service, and then they're going to have an HBO Max Discovery or HBO Max Discovery thing that's all like 90 Day Fiance and the documentaries and nature and science and all that bullshit. And over here is going to be the HBO app that it's going to be just the scripted content. That's what I think is going to happen. 2 separate streaming services.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's confusing.
I don't think that's what's happening.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
If we're still doing the show a year from now when it happens, you owe me Morton's.
Again, you think that HBO shows
yes.
Curb Your Enthusiasm will not be available on HBO Max Discovery.
Yes, I think it will be all in a new streaming service for HBO, called HBO, whatever they want to call it. and that the HBO Max Discovery will be just all that.
Why are you calling HBO Max HBO Max if there's no HBO anything on it?
Well, it could be their documentaries, their sports documentaries, their science documentaries, their political documentaries. Maybe all that stuff is going to live on HBO Max Discovery, and HBO is just going to be all the scripted content.
I don't know what you're hearing or who you're hearing it from. That's all right. I felt like the 70 figure was, I don't know. I mean, whatever.
I also think Green Lantern is done. That Green Lantern, because that was estimated at $150 million. And I think there's no way they're sinking that money into a series about the Green Lantern Corps. I don't see that happening either. So,
dude, they're not doing fucking shit until Superman is fixed. Okay.
Yeah.
Superman is the priority.
Right.
Batman runs itself. Joker runs itself. Superman is what Zaslav needs to get a fucking handle on.
Fair enough.
Okay.
The Master says,
who do you bring in, John?
Huh?
Who do you bring? Like, I think he's alluded to, we're going to have a team at DC that's just focused on DC.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Now, he didn't really talk about Walter Hamada there. I think he's probably going to want his own guy there.
Yeah, he does want his own guy.
It's just, human nature. So who is going to be the new Walter Hamada? Who is going to be the Kevin Feige in DC? Any idea?
I don't know who's out there. I really don't, who I think could step in, because I don't know the bios of a lot of these executives that said, yes, I've been reading DC comics since I was 5 years old. I know the ins and outs of all these characters and what they're going to do. My nomination? My nomination is my geek buddy, Michael Vogel, who has already been an executive at Hasbro, ran Transformers, ran the Spectacular Spider-Man, ran a number of things. He has been an executive. He has been in charge of these projects, has been in the rooms for these Transformers discussions, these Stretch Armstrong's discussions. He has a taste of what it's like. And he's incredibly knowledgeable about all this kind of stuff for sure, working with Wild Brain, working on the animated side of things, but he's very knowledgeable about comic books. Okay. And he's been an executive. He's been an executive producer. He's been an executive at Hasbro. Moving him over to take a look and be in charge of the entire thing at DC, I think wouldn't be a bad choice. You got to pick.
Well, if he gets it, I hope he gives you 10% of it, whatever his salary is.
I'm just saying. I just want a job, six-figure job.
Yeah. So that's not happening.
I know that's not happening.
Sorry, Mike Vogel. No. You're a good friend of my buddy John Rocha, but probably not going to happen.
Well, Michael's a little more connected than you think, Jeff. The Game Mafia is strong.
To a couple of J Master's going to have to fucking be paid.
Okay, all right, fine. Go ahead.
I was talking to a friend today, and he just threw out two names. And I can't take credit to these names, but I think either one would be fine.
Okay.
Hutch Parker.
Okay.
Who's done the X-Men stuff and has been working on the Venom movies at Sony. I get it, but at least he has fucking experience. And then Thomas Tull.
Okay.
Remember Thomas Tull? Used to run Legendary when they were doing Nolan's.
I like the Thomas Tull idea much better.
I'm just saying those are two interesting executives with experience. I mean, again, if they're bringing back Alan Horn, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they're open to bringing back Thomas Tull. I know he was Legendary and that was his thing, but he obviously worked very closely with Warner Brothers. And geez, I'm trying to think. Okay. Anyways, go on. What's next?
All right, let's move on. Jay Master says, I do feel kind of bad for Batgirl getting canceled, but the Batgirl directors and Leslie Grace did put out a statement saying they hope to work with Warner Brothers Discovery again in the near future. Of course, the class people said they released a class statement. There's nothing wrong with that. They just finished doing Ms. Marvel, which was received very well. So,
okay. So John, it's like you just said, do they have to stick to their word? Like, are they definitely going to work with Warner Brothers Discovery again?
Possibly, because the way this works is you've got to understand how to construct the statement, right? So you're saying they're saying they hope to work with Warner Brothers Discovery again in the future. Does not mean when David Zaslav is in charge. It just means we hope to work with the studio down the road in the future. So that leaves you wide open for the next however long your life is to be able to come back to one of those down the road.
And again, I don't know if they'd sign these deals. And if I were them, I would not. And if I was their rep, I would not advise them to.
Yeah.
But if I was Warner Brothers, I would try to offer them a deal. Some kind of overall or holding deal.
If I was Marvel.
That's how you make it right. Now, at the same time, they don't really have anything to make right because they did a job, right? Leslie Grace did a job. The directors did a job, and they got paid for it.
They did. You're right.
That's how that works. You get paid. You do a job. You get paid. There's no guarantee of 3,000 screen release and $100 million marketing campaign, right?
Right.
I mean, you would think that there's a guarantee that the movie will come out, period. But in this case, there is not.
Right. Sadly.
But that's what I would do if I was Warner Brothers, looking to smooth things over with those people in particular.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, though, because Zaslav has made it very clear he doesn't want to throw good money after bad. So I can't imagine that he would do that. But if I'm Warner Brothers,
that could be very good money. I mean, no one's calling Leslie Grace or those directors bad money. It's the movie. It's the project. It's not personal.
How about you think you can separate the director from the project? Are you insane?
Yes.
If the movie is terrible, that stains the director. No one goes, Ruben Fleischer, fucking great director.
Tenet sucked, but Universal still gave him $100 million to do.
That's different. He has a track record. The two directors here do not have the same kind of track record.
They don't have the same kind of track record, but they're also coming off the biggest movie of 2020.
Oh, you mean Bad Boys for Life? Come on.
Highest grossing movie of 2020.
Yes, but no one is thinking.
Okay. It's not bad money if Zaslav offers them some sort of deal that gives them $5 or $10 million a year or 2 or 3 years of overhead or whatever.
Yeah, don't misunderstand. I'm not saying they're bad money. I'm saying Zaslav sees it that way. I'm not saying that they are that way.
He doesn't. He sees the movie as bad money. He doesn't see these people as irredeemable people who we don't want to work with. I don't understand.
I can't say that. But I think your possibility is possible, and so is mine. Kale Trick Perkins says, I'm happy as a DC fan today after the QT call. 10-year plan, quality, not quantity. Won't release films to meet financial goals. I'm actually hopeful. Only question is, will they hard reboot the DCEU?
I don't think you can because Batman's successful. Joker, this is the thing.
Aquaman.
Why are we shaking up DC at all? Batman, Joker, Aquaman. These are hits.
Yeah.
It doesn't need a huge shakeup. I don't know where it got. Even something like Shazam is a modest hit. Yeah. Black Adam is coming. I mean, I don't understand this urge to blow it all up other than I'm David Zaslav and this is my show and I'm calling the shots and, it's a new game in town. So, but I don't think that they can afford to just hard reboot it and get rid of all the actors that they've cast and everything like that. Yeah. No.
And Keltrick, I love you. I feel you, brother. I'm happy that you're happy. But this is, you're like a fan that's okay with the new owners coming in, the new GMs coming in, new coaches coming in. I feel optimistic. I appreciate that. I want you to be optimistic. Maybe it works. But I'll tell you this, Zaslav, and I know Jeff doesn't like me to hold him to his words. He said they're never going to release a film they don't believe in, which means, ladies and gentlemen, every film they release, they're going to believe in and love and think it's great. So let's see what happens when a few of those films start to sink or tank or don't do well or are critically lambasted. We'll see what the reaction is then for sure. So I appreciate the quality over quantity. It doesn't mean they're going to achieve quality over quantity.
I respect a guy who says we're only going to release movies that we believe in. And to prove it to you, here's a really expensive movie you're all looking forward to. And I don't believe in it. And we're not putting it out. I kind of like that.
Okay. If The Flash comes out and it's torn to pieces by the critics, we'll see if he feels the same way. Jay Master says, David Zaslav saying they're going to have a 10-year plan for DC, also mentioning of what Bob Iger and Alan Horn did with Marvel and Kevin Feige over at Disney. And here is hoping DC follows the same path as Marvel of having diversity. I agree. Okay. I'm not saying Zaslav is a racist. I'm not saying that's their approach. I'm just saying I don't want to see all these Latino actors who've been cast in these roles removed and replaced by white actors. Then it looks fucking suspicious. Okay. So I want to see diversity as well. And certainly they have a diverse Justice League. Will they maintain that?
John, if Matt Reeves writes the Batman 3.
Yeah. Okay? Well, you can't use Matt Reeves because Matt Reeves has a diverse film. Zoe Kravitz, bouncing out Pattinson. Okay, yes, you got Paul Dano, but you've got James Gordon who's black.
I'll use Ava DuVernay, and she wants to make a Batgirl movie, okay? And she wants to cast a black girl as Batgirl instead of a Latina. You're going to say you're okay with that? Because
I'm okay with that. As long as it's a person of color, I'm okay with it.
But what if David Fincher says, I want to make a Batgirl movie, and I'm just choosing,
Yeah, I know you are.
You know what I'm doing.
Yes.
If he wants to make a Batgirl movie, and he thinks Rooney Mara is the perfect Batgirl, and they're like, and David Zaslav's like, you know what? I agree. I can totally see that. David Fincher's Batgirl starring Rooney Mara. Here's $100 million. You think that's racist because they don't give it to a Latino girl again?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I think it's a bad look.
That's fine. It can be a bad look, but that doesn't.
I don't think it's racist. I think it's a bad look. Let me clarify that. Suck says, I can't cancel. I can't cancel. They still have the rehearsal. Oh, can't they cancel? They still have the rehearsal.
I can't cancel HBO
Okay.
Max. They still have the rehearsal and Harley Quinn.
Yeah. After the season. Oh, okay.
Canceling.
Yeah, Sucks is saying I can't. I'm not watching the rehearsal. My girlfriend won't let me watch that. It looks absolutely anxiety inducing. And Harley Quinn, I've only ever watched one episode of Harley Quinn. I need to catch up and watch it because everyone says it's incredible. So yeah, we'll see what happens after that. But that's what Sucks says. I'm drawing the line there. After I watch these seasons, then I'll cancel it. But Suck, you know how this works. They're going to come out with another series you want to watch, and you're going to stay on the teat.
Basically how it goes. Yes.
Yeah, it's always how it goes. You kidding? I didn't cut my cable cord until a year and a half ago, and it took me forever to cancel that fucking thing. Haunted_Autumn says Zaslav wanting to build a new cohesive shared universe does not equate to him not supporting things outside of shared universe, in my opinion.
Exactly. Yes.
What? Oh
my God. Yes, he wants to build a cohesive shared universe, but just because he's got this Batman or Joker movie that doesn't really fit into it or kind of is on its own, he's not going to get rid of that shit.
Yeah, but you just said you can't have multiple Jokers, multiple Batmen. It sounds like they're going to have multiple Jokers, multiple Batman, as long as it makes them money.
I mean, I don't think that if I was him, like I said, you focus on Superman. Batman is set. You don't bring in another Batman. I don't even know why they're bringing in fucking Affleck and Michael Keaton. I don't know what are you doing? Robert Pattinson is Batman. These guys had their fucking day. Move on. People love this multiverse shit. I'm telling you, everyone's getting sick of the multiverse. We've seen the multiverse for all of Phase 4 in Marvel. I don't need it in DC. It's fucking stupid. It's just a cameo. It's just a reason to bring in cameos.
Yes. And please, fans. And Spider-Man No Way Home box office supports that fucking decision. All right. Stephen Turner says, I can't wait for Joker 2 audiences to be packed with Joker bros next to Lady Gaga's Little Monsters. Joker 2 bringing straights and gays together. Yeah, that's for sure. It
is the movie that will unite the world.
Yeah, I would love that. J&B saying, this is the kind of high inside heat I signed up for. Bust Jeff's balls, Rocha. Hashtag Snyder forever heel.
Well, I want to ask you about this story in the Station 19 writers' room. Did you hear about it?
Go ahead. Yes. What is the story?
There, the writers of the show Station 19, which I guess is some spinoff of Grey's Anatomy or something. I don't fucking know. I've never fucking. I thought. Anyways, a writer who I assume is white.
Yes.
Turned in a treatment. Okay, treatment for an episode, and in the treatment, they use a Mexican slur that starts with the B word.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, the slur was attributed to a racist character in the treatment.
Yes.
And the other writers read this treatment and they freaked out and they had to shut down the writer's room and everything. And it's just like, we've gone too far. It's insane. A writer's room is supposed to be a sacred space, okay, where it's safe to say anything. You're not talking about this is how I feel. I'm writing a racist character. And in my writer's imagination, this racist character says the B word.
Right.
Like, what happened to adults who can find, like, first of all, what do you think of this situation?
If it's the way you're presenting it, yeah, I think it's weird to take umbrage because you're in a writer's room, you've got characters, and you've attributed that negative word to a villainous person, right? I mean, Tarantino has been getting away from using the N-word for decades, all right, in all his films. And even the characters weren't
the N-word.
But the characters are not villains in all of his movies who use the N-word. So that's the weird part. And that's why Spike Lee had issue with it, because in a way he is tacitly endorsing the usage of that word as a commonplace word. And it doesn't mean that it isn't for some people in some sections of this country and the world still, but using your platform of a movie to influence people. And yes, movies influence fucking people. That's not the smartest way to go about it. Now, this is a writer's room. And I think this should have been addressed honest. And writers, but writers are the most sensitive motherfuckers on the planet. So like this idea that, oh my God, you said this word, but it's attributed to a negative character, a villainous character. I see why the other route could have been, insert Mexican racist expletive here. That could have been the way around it. But in the end, you're right. These are adults. These are human beings. These are writers. And so, you have to understand where this writer is coming from. Now, I don't know if there's a history with this writer. I don't know if they've had interactions with this writer that were uncomfortable and he's let drop some certain slangs or terms. I don't know what the situation is overall. But so I need a fuller picture before I give my full opinion on this. But for the way you've presented it, I do think it's going a bit too far, and it's not the N word. So, but the word can be used here in that way. Okay, you explain it. It's the villain, blah, blah, blah.
There was a similar case years ago with Walter Mosley, who's a famous novelist.
Yes, great novelist.
He was in a writer's room telling a story about how he encountered a racist cop who called him the N-word, and he said the word in full, and people were shocked. And it's like, this is just a black man recounting his own experience.
Yeah. That was ridiculous. I remember that.
It blows my mind. It blows my mind what has happened to this town. Because when I came out to this town, it wasn't like this. and listen, a lot of changes happen for the good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it is fucking crazy out there these days.
I'm surprised you're still here. Jay Master says, I think David Zaslav is going to let Ezra Miller Flash come out, let it play its run in theaters. Then the 10-year plan, we will have a new Flash after more Ezra Miller news comes out today. I don't know if there's more.
I can't even keep track with this fucking kid.
Yeah.
I think he's done. But this person, kid is a non-gendered.
Fair enough.
But anyways, I think he is. They are done.
Yeah.
After this movie, but the movie is going to come out.
Yeah, the movie's coming out.
This fucking insane campaign.
Yeah, Zaslav has made it very clear that he loved. What did you think about the end of that sentence where he said, "We can make it better. We can make them better"? What does that mean? Is he going to go back in and retool Aquaman, retool the Flash movie? Do you think he's going to do that? He said that I've seen Flash, I've seen Shazam or Aquaman, I've seen Black Adam. These are damn good. These are great movies. We're going to make them even better, is what he said. So what does that mean? We're going to make them even better. Maybe he was just talking, but make them even better implies you're going to do something to change it or adjust it to supposedly make it even better than it already is.
Maybe just, we'll put in more money.
Yeah.
If that's what they need for reshoots or visual effects, whatever it is. And I feel like a lot of it could also just be time. A lot of these movies have really been under the gun, as we've read so much about with VFX houses and everything, and that leads to shoddy work. So it could just be like, hey, we're going to push this movie. Maybe the fans will be upset, but it's going to give the filmmakers more time and lead to a better product.
Yeah, fair enough. He said, we've seen, Black Adam, Shazam 2, and Flash. He said, quote, "We've seen them. We think they're terrific, and we think we can make them even better." That's what he said. That's his exact quote on the call. So I'm very curious to see what that means. Daniel Haygood says, you all are out here really pretending Eternals 2 being confirmed ain't the story of the year.
Well, is that confirmed because there was a TikTok with Oscar Isaac in it? Like what?
I don't know.
Or no, that's right. That was Moon Knight season 2.
Yeah, Moon Knight season 2.
The Eternals 2. Where did that come from again?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it, but I think that's funny as shit for him to throw that in here. So.
Nobody's asking for this.
Jay Master says the HBO Max 70% layoff staff article was reported by The Wrap. Sharon Waxman over there at The Wrap. So 70% layoff article. What do you? I know you know Sharon, and she does approve these information going out. So what do you think about this stuff?
I don't really know. I don't really have an opinion on the 70% of it all.
You haven't heard about that. You haven't heard the 70% or anything like that. Okay. Fair enough. Empire Fan 1980 says in 2030, the 80s will be 50 years ago. Okay. Thanks for telling us that. What the fuck? Stephen Turner saying, we got good news with Kidman re-signing.
That is wild. I actually was because I went to AMC last night for 13 Lives and I'm sitting there watching it and I'm like, wow, how much longer is this going to go on? Is this run through the end of the year? And to hear that they're bringing her back for next year, she's the ambassador to AMC. I mean, it's just like her Adam Aaron or whatever the way that he leans into these memes and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Ronaldo McWhiskey back here saying word on the street is suddenly Kevin Feige hates his job and is looking to make a change.
I still maintain that he will eventually make a change. But
you think he will leave? All right, fair enough. Stephen Turner says, I also can't wait for the Joker 2 press tour. It's going to be chaotic with Gaga's method acting talk. Film Twitter may hate it, but gays love it. It's camp. Oh, there you go.
Who cares what Twitter thinks? They didn't like the first Joker, did they?
Yeah, I don't think so. Josh Maber said, this is the best Statler and Waldorf sketch I've ever seen. I think this was the vision Jim Henson had in his mind. Awesome show, gentlemen. Yeah, well, that's why
obviously. Look at the fucking product that the trades put out. Look at the talking head shows that they have. Give me a break. You blow that shit out of the water.
We're the best thing going today. Spartan 119 says, John Zaslav canceling Batgirl and going forward with Ezra's Flash is suspect as fuck. Then confirming Joker the same week. Not a good look for Warner Bros. You're right.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's not. Who cares? Who cares about how you fucking see it? It's not a good look.
People care, man. People care. Creatives care. I'm telling you.
If they
brands care. Products care.
If they care, they'll vote with their wallets. Because if they go to the next DC movie, they must not care that much.
You're right. You're right. The thing you realize sometimes, and certainly there's a bubble, and you think, oh, it's going to crash, and then you see a movie succeed and be great, and you're like, oh my God, why? That kind of thing. Sucked says,
I think I told you at the beginning of the year or something. Yeah. I can't remember when it was.
Yeah.
It was all like this consolidation and the recession coming. I told you, I could have sworn.
Yeah.
It is the diversity projects that are going to take the hit.
Yes, I know. You were right. And that's true. And it's always, and this is why I'm saying, Jeff, look, I know it's not racist for the most part, but I do know that there is this belief amongst many of the white executives in this fucking town and the white business people that if we get rid of a thing of color, it's not, it's not going to be that bad. We're not going to suffer that hard of a hit. It's okay. And it's not what they call it. They came up with that cute term, unconscious racism, which is ridiculous. But it's you got to be aware of how this looks. You got to be aware of how this plays. And look, as people of color are growing, as creators growing with more opportunities, growing to put stuff on the air, you're going to have to suffer the ramifications of it if you don't treat that situation with more care and respect. And I think they didn't here. And I hear what you're saying about like, oh, nobody gives a fuck, but creators do. And they may not want to work with you and they may not want to be a part of your studio. And that could be a situation, especially when you got a guy who's out here crowing about Trump as the head of your studio. That's not a good look for a lot of people. Just saying.
But it's like not a good look for a lot of people. What? A lot of people on Twitter and in our sphere? The truth is that the majority of this country, it's a very good look.
Well, not a majority.
Sorry, that's fucked up.
Not a majority. I wouldn't say it's a majority. If it was a majority, they wouldn't be trying to stop people from voting. Suck says, we can agree that Zaslav being a Trumper is creepy. Yeah, I agree. It is a little creepy. I'm not going to lie on that. Jay Master says, Patton Oswalt confirmed Eternals in an interview with the Today Show with Chloe Zhao coming back to direct, and I believe Marvel confirmed this to the cast only. Oh, all right. Well, there you go. That's how it happened with Patton Oswalt, who's of course going to be part of Sandman starting tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, he is a part of Sandman.
Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I will be watching it tomorrow for sure. And I also got to watch Prey, which I haven't watched yet. Everyone says it's
Prey is good. Sandman, I watched 2 episodes. I was like, what the fuck is this?
It's not a Jeff Sneider project.
What the fuck is this?
It's too out there for Jeff Sneider. It's not a Jeff Sneider project. Cam Chapman says, good day, John and Jeff. Just throwing some support your way. Love the show. One of the most honest and entertaining hours of the week. Cheers, Cam. You're right. I mean, we're over an hour right now with all your questions. Jeff, are you cool to still hanging out for a little bit?
Man, baby. Let's fucking go.
Let's do it. All right. I am Too Fly. Cam says, love the show as always, guys. After hearing Zaslav's comments, I can honestly believe Batgirl was a potential disaster. I prefer the hard-nosed, serious approach he's taken for DC. The DC properties have far more upside than we've seen. I'm optimistic. Yes, but you've been optimistic since the start of the Snyderverse, and yet it's still been a colossal train wreck at times. So he may be hard-nosed, but is that really going to lead to great results? We shall see. The jury's going to be out for a bit. According to him,
again, this is the other thing. Executives only have so much say and influence on these movies.
Yeah. Well, Zaslav, I think, has influence for sure.
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it comes down to a writer.
Right.
Not Kevin Feige, not the Russo brothers. It comes down to a writer sitting at a desk alone.
Yes. All right. I don't agree with that, but I respect your point of view. Nancy Mallory saying it's confusing that WB is still releasing The Flash despite the Ezra Miller allegations, including the recent article on Insider that mentions Ezra leading a cult in Iceland. Is it going to hurt Warner Brothers in the long run?
No. No, it's not.
Smithy says, Sneider, can you convince Rocha to watch Dirty Dancing? Is it considered an essential classic? Most people think so. Who is this most people? Maybe do that Clockwork Orange thing where you clamp Rocha's eyes open and drip artificial tears while he's forced to watch. Convince him.
Listen, I don't have boobs. Mrs. Outlaw has boobs. If she can't convince him, what can I do?
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Boobs are the great equalizer, guys.
Jeff Sneider say that. I am not saying that.
You can quote me on that.
Don't quote.
Yeah, quote away. I will watch whatever movie if there's a woman sitting here next to me with boobs telling me watch Dirty Dancing.
All right, let's move on. Fillmore _pockets donated. Thank you, Fillmore. Supermusk sent in a donation saying,
Dirty Dancing, John.
Why did the Wizards get astray? Why did the Wizards get astray? I don't know what that means. They're terrible. Though right now, my Wizards, even with Bradley Beal, they're horrible. Ben Rayner says, hi, John and Jeff. Thanks for the show today. Jeff, do you think Alan and David will hire someone to handle DC properties like Kevin Feige is with MCU over at Disney? Curious to hear your thoughts. Thanks for the show again. Thank you, Ben. Jeff.
Oh, Alan and David? Oh, Alan Horn and David. So wait, what was that? Read that again.
Jeff, do you think Alan and David will hire someone, Alan Horn and David Zaslav, will hire someone to handle DC properties like Kevin Feige is with MCU over Disney? I feel like we answer this, but do you want to add more to
it? I don't think that Walter Hamada should lose his job.
Right.
I think he's done a fine job, all things considered. But I do think that David Zaslav will bring in his own person. Yes.
Yeah. I think so too. AT Win Paradox says, love watching you guys. Fired up. John, don't let the commenters get to you. Keep that anger focused where it belongs, on the Jurassic Park fans. You're fucking A-right. You're fucking A-right. Don't judge my Transformers, you sons of bitches, when you're loving those Jurassic Park pieces of crap. All right, here. What's another one here? Here we go. JB says, counterpoint to Jeff, no sarcasm. Star Wars ST averaged over 1 billion, but the backlash optics were so bad that they went back to the drawing board. That's true, man. I mean, the Star Wars sequel trilogy made over $1 billion, but the optics on it, the drama around Kelly Marie Tran, around Daisy Ridley, around John Boyega was so bad that they kind of put this thing away, and those films were not that good. So in the end, they had to shelve it. So
I don't think that Kelly Marie Tran drama or some comments about Daisy Ridley or John Boyega shelved $1 billion franchise.
Okay. All right. Bad movies do that. Haunted _ Adam says, I am beyond hype for Joker. Folie à deux. I like to call it foie de gras, but people don't like it. Gaga was amazing in A Star Is Born and House of Gucci.
That's what I'm calling it. Joker boots.
Joker boots, Jesus Christ. And using cheek to cheek in that teaser clip as a tone setter. Okay, but some might argue Joker crossed the line from homage to ripoff of 70s Scorsese. Yeah, I've seen those people. They're idiots. And perhaps that is true. Whatever they did, they created a film that felt like it was from a bygone age. If Phillips can manage the same with their attempt at the Astaire Crosby Golden Age era of Hollywood and film, yes, please. Thank you both and everyone here. Jeff is my spirit animal. Yeah. I mean, I saw people say that, but look, you can be influenced by another director. It doesn't mean you're going to make a fucking great movie that wins your star an Oscar, wins your composer an Oscar, and makes $1 billion. So this idea of reducing Joker to a Scorsese ripoff is beyond ridiculous. It's almost brain dead to say something like that, because Todd Phillips, nobody expected this from the dude who directed The Hangover, for fuck's sake. And he was able to create a very interesting film with a phenomenal performance, an exposition, an exploration rather, of mental health, of a society that disenfranchises people and what it can lead to. And it totally worked. And so for people to kind of diminish it to a Scorsese ripoff is just beyond insulting, in my opinion. Jeff, thoughts on this?
I concur. I think Joker's a masterpiece. So
yeah. And we don't throw around that word that often. Ronaldo Miski says the writers are the heroes. They can be. Yes, they can be. Frank says, I don't want MCU assembly line type of storytelling for DC. Batman and Joker 2 still happening is a great sign. DC can do it all. Frank, I think you make an excellent point. I know some people have been critical of Marvel, saying that the Marvel thing feels like a fact. Even though they're bringing in all these different directors, it can feel like a factory. But in the end, they're successful. So are you okay dealing with the swings and the misses as long as it's kind of doing its own thing rather than following Marvel? Jeff, what do you think about that?
I just love, they're like, oh, we're going to do the Marvel plan. Like, is this what people get paid tens of millions of dollars to do? They say, I thought on it real hard. We're going to copy Marvel. Like, this is what people get paid millions of dollars for?
It's like when you see those logos, they paid 75 million and it's like two lines. And you're like, what? 75 million for that?
Chris Corcoran, Joker's better than Parasite.
Oof, I'm not saying that. That's about equal in my mind. It's about equal in my mind. 370 you all watching us right now. Please make sure you hit a like on this video as we go along. Jeff, any more to say on this Warner Brothers things? There's a couple more news topics I want to ask you about. Any more to say on this Warner Brothers stuff, the Batgirl stuff, the combining of HBOMax and Discovery Plus into one channel next year or one streaming service next year? Anything more to say coming out of this? The subscribers numbers went up, but the profit went down, according to what I was reading in Variety. So do you think this is just they're taking the hits for now as they course correct the financial hits, and then we're going to start to see them making more money down the road?
I just don't give a fuck what HBO Max is doing. I don't give a fuck what Discovery Plus is doing, so long as you don't fuck with HBO.
Fair enough. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, as long as HBO is putting out good shows, I don't care what we call the platform or where these shows live. Right. As long as I can access them, great.
There we go. Tushka Instigation says, you both need to join the Outlaw Nation Fantasy Football League. We have a few spots available. Who will have the worst season, the Washington football team or the Patriots? Neither, I think, will have a bad season, in my opinion. I think Carson Wentz is the best quarterback we've had in quite a while. So we're going to have a shot at the playoffs in that shitty NFC East division. I think we're going to have a shot at the playoffs. And the Patriots, I think Mac Jones, one more year of seasoning. That kid is going to be great in his sophomore year. What do you think, Jeff?
I think the Patriots will be good, not just, because we have Belichick and because of Mac growing, but I really like the backs. I just think Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson's going to be dirty.
Yeah, I agree. Ben Renner says, I agree. Jeff, Joker is better than Parasite, like both movies, but I like Joker a bit more.
Yeah, I didn't say Parasite's a bad movie. I just said shouldn't have won Best Picture.
That's true. Washington Commanders. It's the Washington Commanders. They're not the Washington football team. They're Washington Commanders.
What are these other news stories that you wanted to hit?
Are you done with Warner Brothers?
Yeah, I've talked enough about them.
Okay. What's your feeling on the Rocky situation with drag out now? Sylvester Stallone, we touched on it, I think, a week or two ago. He's going even further into his anger over this situation. Where are we going with them? What's the end goal here for Stallone in all of this, Jeff?
Neil wrote a great piece, Neil Turret's on Below the Line this week. I assigned it to him. Stallone, he's looking stupid. He's making himself look bad with each punch that he throws. He's just shitting on a legacy. And it doesn't even make sense. His argument, it doesn't make sense, dude. You fucking signed away to some rights when you're a young man. You don't get them back when you're an old man because you put in a lot of time. That's not how shit works.
Peter Beller says, now this is a hot mic show. Never seen Jeff more awake in my life. LOL. That's true.
Yeah, I'm not all hopped up on the DRUGS.
Oh, good. That's a good thing too. The other thing, Lady Gaga has confirmed that she will be coming in here as a part of Batman 2. So are we happy about this? Are you excited about this now that it's officially confirmed?
Batman 2
going to happen.
Time of Joker 2?
Yeah, Joker 2. That's what I said.
We've talked enough about Joker. Yeah, we knew Lady Gaga was happening. Today it's official. Today it's confirmed. Today we got a teaser. Guys, we've known this for 3 months. Whatever.
All right, fair enough. What are your thoughts on Kevin Spacey being ordered to pay $31 million to the House of Cards producers for alleged sexual misconduct? It seemed like he was going to get away with this, Jeff. He was going to kind of skate by, and that some people were dropping their charges, and he was starting to pump up the narrative that he was falsely accused. And then all this stuff popped off in London. And now we've got this decision that has come down here that the judges ordered Kevin Spacey to pay House of Cards $31 million. The production company MRC there. What do you think about that?
You think you're going to see him riding the bus in Los Angeles? If Kevin Spacey has not taken steps to hide his fortune in the last few years, do we think he's going to pay that whole judgment?
I don't think so.
Afford it. Is Kevin Spacey worth $31 million?
I don't know if he has it. I mean, Amber Heard's trying to sell off all her houses to pay off Johnny. I can't imagine.
He's had a very good career, but what was his big payday? Lex Luthor?
I don't think so. Maybe Usual Suspects in terms of
that's not. I'm talking about a
residuals.
Payday. I'm talking about a payday.
Pay right off the bat getting paid.
Yeah,
maybe Lex Luthor. I guess. I don't know.
I mean, maybe House of Cards because he's probably a producer on that show as well. But
that's probably the big money right there.
Let me just Google it real quick. Kevin Spacey net worth because I am curious.
Yeah.
By the way, my dad does this all night long. Everyone he sees, what's their net worth? What's their net worth? I go, this shit isn't accurate at all. So take this with a huge fucking grain of salt. But the internet says Kevin Spacey is worth $75 million.
75?
In which case he could afford 31, and maybe he will actually have to pay it. I don't know.
Wow, that's a lot. 75 million. I'm shocked he has $75 million to roll around with. All right, and what's up? What else do we want to talk about? Is there anything else that's going on in your mind?
Talk about some movies. Forget
Go ahead.
Industry bullshit and blah blah. Like, what are you watching? You watching anything good? Did you see anything this week?
What did I see this week? I tweeted about it.
Did you see Bullet Train?
I did see Bullet Train and loved it.
You loved Bullet Train, John?
I enjoyed the hell out of Bullet Train. It was a lot of fun. And I'm not alone, pal. I'm not alone. It's got a good Rotten Tomatoes score. I liked the film. I thought it was a lot of fun. I know Mance didn't like it. I love Scotty, but I liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought the actors came to play. I thought David Leitch did a great job directing this thing. The twists and turns. The only person I didn't come across as believable was Joey King. I had kind of issues with her performance, but she's still growing as an actress. It'll get there eventually. But everyone else was having fun and having a blast, and I enjoyed it. And it was surprisingly more emotional than I thought it was going to be. Jeff, your thoughts?
Again, I completely acknowledge that my perspective is skewed because I read the book. But the movie made no sense to me, and I read the book. If I hadn't read the book, it's incomprehensible.
Yeah,
I feel like, and they almost do nothing with the fact that it's set on a bullet train. It could just be a train, a fast moving, just a train. Like, what makes it a bullet train? There's
set in Japan. It's set in Japan.
So what? They don't do anything with the speed of the train.
I'm not going to ruin the movie because they do. My friend Jeff is completely incorrect. They do.
That's like a physics thing at the end, but during the movie, there's nothing. Anyway,
I'll have you know that Jeremy Johns
on the outside of the train and gets climbs up. It's just
stop ruining the movie.
Ruining the movie. This movie can't be fucking ruined. Okay, listen. I like whether it's Bourne or Mission Impossible. This is how I like my action shit now. I want it gritty. I want it to feel like it's real. This felt like a fucking cartoon.
Yeah, it's fun.
It had no weight to it.
All right, fair enough. I disagree. I'm looking at it's 55% with the critics, but it's 87% on the audience score. So
87%. Okay, wait a second, John.
So Mr. GM
on the audience score, it hasn't fucking come out.
Mr. G movie reviews, 87% is very good. So,
it hasn't come out. It's been out for an hour and a half. Where are these 87? What?
There were early screenings of the film for fans around the country. What's wrong?
How many? So the 87% is based on what? 200 fucking people?
I don't know how many people there are.
Fucking break with this shit, dude. Bullet Train is not good, folks.
86% of the critics deemed it fresh, including Scott Mendelson at Forbes, our own friend Jeremy Johns, our old friend Jeremy Johns. So, just throwing some people out there. And John Rocha on the LL Nation. If you'd ever put his stuff up on Rotten Tomatoes, you'd see that.
Watch Prey on...
Yeah, Prey on Hulu. Yep.
There's a movie with representation.
Yeah, I want to see. Yeah, hour and 40 minutes. It's a quick watch. I'm going to watch it maybe tonight, actually, because I'm going to do a spoiler review tomorrow on the channel for sure. Stubby1 Kenobi says, the old man, Nuff said, yeah, Jeff, it wrapped up last week. I thought it was 8 episodes. My girlfriend and I were waiting patiently on Thursday night for it to show up and then realized, oh, no. Then at the end of that 7th episode is the end of the first season. And I was super pissed because I wanted to see.
Was it satisfying or you didn't even
sure.
if you thought it was still going?
Yeah, no, I liked it. I thought it was damn good, and I wanted to see one more episode with them confronting the main person they've been talking about the whole fucking first season. But now we'll wait for season 2.
I've been watching it. I am a couple episodes behind, but
okay.
I don't have like the, oh my God, it's up now. I got to watch it.
No.
Don't have it for this one.
All right. Fair enough. Ronaldo McWhiskey, so you guys talk about Gray Man yet? It was fixing to watch Prey here in a minute. Yeah, Jeff, did you like the Gray Man? You thought it was good? What did you think of the Gray Man?
Yes, for what it was, for the movie that they promised us in the trailers, I thought it was fine. It didn't stand out to me. I'm never going to watch it again. But to see 2 stars like that in a big budget movie trading, quippy one-liners and fisticuffs, it did its job. The script is awful.
So
bad.
See, I don't know if I'm going to like it if the script is awful. Have you seen the Mike, the Hulu one on Mike Tyson? Have you seen any of that yet? Because reviews have started coming out. So did you get a chance to watch that yet?
Have they?
Yeah.
Really? I'm surprised.
I'm sorry, not review. Sorry. Write-ups have been starting. I'm sorry. Sometimes in my head gets, because we were talking about Rotten Tomatoes. Write-ups have been starting coming out on this already. And the Hollywood Reporter here talking about how they created this.
Hulu has banned me from their screeners.
What?
Yes, it was understandable. I fucked up. I made a mistake, and I deserve to pay the consequences. So I'm not angry. I really have no beef with Hulu. Hulu hates me for some reason. I really don't have beef with anyone at Hulu. I'm a big boy. I did the crime, and I'll do the time. But I have not gotten screeners for their shows in months.
Okay. All right, see one more of these. Josh Mabry saying, I do think it's strange seeing WB axing all these projects and Netflix moving forward with the Gray Man movies when the movie was hollow and Netflix was losing money on it. Jeff, did the Gray Man do that well?
No, it did. It didn't. Despite the Netflix split, and I was supposed to have a big piece on Netflix come out this week. I don't know where it is, if it's being edited or what the deal is. But so they announced this sequel and a spinoff, which a lot of people think will be about Ana de Armas's character, because who else are you spinning off? Reggae John Page, so he can stand in a room behind computers for another 2 hours. So. It did seem like it was like they wanted to project this confidence in the IP when the fact is, if you're getting 88 million views on a $200 million investment, that's a failure.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not why you paid $200 million, to come in 5th. The fact that it just had so many less views than Red Notice, which I think had like 60 million more. I think Red Notice was like 140 or 145. It's unacceptable, really. I don't think, or I think Gosling and Evans are not on the level of Dwayne Johnson or Ryan Reynolds.
No,
they just are not. These are not guys, who can really open their own movies. Let's be honest. They are movie stars,
right?
But they're not movie stars like Dwayne Johnson or Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Haunted_Autumn says Kevin Spacey has been having fireside chats half in character as Frank Underwood. Dude does not have the mental capacity to hide his fortune. LOL. Unless those fireside chats are there to distract you from this whole situation, and he is. So.
Listen, Kevin Spacey's whole persona since what went down has been super fucking weird. I think he kind of enjoys it a little bit and enjoys playing the villain and tweaking people. I mean, strange.
I have a feeling he's a prick in real life, so it just kind of comes.
He's a guy who's working again. Today there was an announcement about James Franco playing fucking Fidel Castro. Did you see that?
That's ridiculous. That's terrible. That's terrible. I'm not sure of Franco's heritage. He does have a vowel on the end of his name, so does he have Latino blood inside of him? If he does, great. If he doesn't, fuck him. He shouldn't be playing it. It's simple as
and that. Then fucking what's his name? Shia is also in talks to come back and star in Francis Ford Coppola's movie. So all these people who went away starting to come back.
Yeah, that's a good point. Coppola's doing another one. Do we want to see another Coppola movie? I don't know.
No, I'm good. He can go back to the vineyard for all I care.
Unless you're talking Sofia Coppola, I'm not sure I want to watch.
The idea of this movie too has made no sense. It has never made sense in the decades that he's been developing it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what his passion is for Megalopolis.
One question for you: Jake Gyllenhaal, Roadhouse remake. Are we in on this or not in on this? This is Doug Liman directing this thing. You got a multicultural cast. Are you excited about this? Or, I mean, who can touch Swayze's mullet from that original film, Jeff?
You're talking to the wrong guy. That's from a different era. I'm too young for that one. That's a movie where if I had an older brother, I might have loved it.
Yeah.
It means nothing to me.
Have you seen Back to the Future?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, it's the same fucking decade, so don't give me the shit that you're too young to have seen Roadhouse. You could have seen.
I am. It's not about seeing it; it's about caring about it. So I don't care about that, and I don't care about Back to the Future whatsoever.
Okay, all right.
I have no emotional attachment to those properties. As far as I do have an emotional attachment to Jake Gyllenhaal, who I adore, and I do wish that he was doing shit other than Roadhouse and Ambulance, because he is so fucking good as an actor, and these are not properties designed to show that.
All right, fair enough. All right, anything more we should touch on? We've been going for an hour and a half. Should we wrap it up there?
We can wrap it up there. We got all the super chats. Everybody's good. Everybody's squared away. They got what they paid for, right?
They got what they paid for. Everybody was able to chime in. And
got what they paid for, except for Warner Brothers.
There's the shot, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Jeff, tell people where they can read more of your stuff. And as Jeff is doing that, make sure you hit a like on this video. 360 of you watching us right now live. Jeff, what can you tell them?
You can find me on Twitter at Below the Line. By the way, I still didn't publish that Marcel Duchel interview. They're gonna fuck A24 is gonna fucking murder me. Where else do I write? LAMag.com for all the reviews. I have a review of I Love My Dad going up tomorrow.
Oh, the Patton Oswalt one? What,
yeah.
Can you tease what your review is? Yes or no?
Mixed positive, I would say.
Okay, right.
A little uneven. Okay. That's one where the director might have been a bit better off casting somebody else, but we'll see.
Because he's Patton Oswalt's son, right? Is that right? Okay.
I might have cast somebody else. Yeah. But anyways, and what's the other one? The Ankler. Yeah.
Okay. The Ankler. Please don't forget about the Ankler. Mike Joyce coming in saying, I used to F guys like you in prison. Where else can you get lines like that? Roadhouse is one of a kind. That's for sure. It's cheesy as balls, but it's a fun watch, for God's sakes. As for me, you can find me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The Outlaw Nation on Twitch. We'll be live at 3 p.m. PT tomorrow with the John and Wendy show. I'm sure Wendy's going to have some thoughts on this Warner Brothers Discovery stuff. So don't forget to follow me there on Twitch and watch the show every Friday, 3 p.m. PT live. I do put it up on YouTube later, but it always goes live on Twitch initially. I will have a spoiler review for Prey up tomorrow morning, so look for that as well. I mean, the man never stops working. And today there was a trailer for this new film from Martin McDonagh, reuniting him with Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, the Banshees of Innisbrook or something like that. So it looks fantastic. I did a trailer reaction for it. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, go and watch my reaction for it. It's up on the channel right now. It looks great. It looks great, and I can't wait to see it coming out on October 21st. All right, thank you all so much for the Streamlabs, for the Super Chats. We appreciate it madly. Hit a like on this video, and if you're watching later, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about all this madness. Keep it respectful. Keep it cool, or I'll delete your comment. And then let us know what you thought about everything that worked and didn't work for you. If you agree with Jeff, you agree with me. If you don't agree with either of us, let us know down there. All right, take care of yourselves. Be well, and we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of The Hot Mic.